Good afternoon, YouTube. Matt and Roy back once again. Just finishing up a workout. If you guys see my head, I am like really royally sweaty right now. Hopefully, this thing is working. I find it really weird that a brand new Yeti Blue Blackout mic uses mini USB instead of micro USB, but I guess we got to deal with that. Can everybody hear me all right? There we go. That's what it is. I had my volume turned down too much. All right, tubers. So I'm starting this a couple of minutes early to give everybody a chance to get here. Everybody always says that I don't give you guys enough warning before these live streams. Well, this one, you guys had a couple hours, so at least that was something. While we're waiting for other people to come, I am going to give a nice shout out to Village Candle. If I could do this without spilling the wax. Village Candle coffee bean, one of my absolute favorite scents. Oh, you would think this would actually keep you awake, but it really doesn't. Only drinking coffee keeps you awake. Sniffing that Village Candle will put you right to sleep, honestly. And you can only get these, I believe, at Harris Teeter. At least that's the only place you can get them around where we are. It's because, okay, I didn't know that. It says, Harold K goes, because mini USB is more sturdy than micro. Now, that's something I didn't know. See, guys, I learn something new every day, and that should be everyone's goal for the rest of your lives is you learn something new every single day. All right. I think we got this set up just about right. I'd really like to get it closer, but the cable's a little too short. I may have to redo this at a future point in time and get either a longer cable or plug it into the front, but I'll digress on that point. So how's everybody doing today? I'm sitting here sipping some Fresca, trying to cut back a little bit because we did have some junk food earlier. It was Valentine's Day. So mom gave dad a one of those big Carvel ice cream cakes, and dad gave mom one of those Mrs. Fields cookies that you get from the mall, and I had a little bit of each. So yeah, I need to really be careful. So I'm fasting, not going to eat anything else for the rest of the day. I don't count Fresca because Fresca has 0 calories, so I can drink this and I can still be good. That's a good point. It is kind of like a breakfast soda. It's grapefruit citrus. Grapefruit citrus, definitely. Rebecca is driving me back to the Med Express now. Yes, Eric, I hope you're feeling better. Eric's a little bit under the weather. I'm not going to give any details about it. I don't know if he wants me to, but just keep him in your prayers if you can. Now, that being said, I had an interesting notion. I am going to do a food review on this Chuao Choker Exploding Coal chocolate bar, crafted with joy, popping candy and black Coaco conspire in dark chocolate. I have heard people tell me these are an experience. This is dark chocolate with little bits of coal. And it's almost like, if you guys are old enough to remember Pop Rocks, it's almost like Pop Rocks. They say when you're chewing on this in your mouth, the charcoal kind of explodes, and they say it's an unbelievable sensation. I am saving this for a future, probably a live stream. It's going to be a live stream food review. However, if I can get to $20 in super chats by the end of this stream, I'll do it live here for you folks. And I really didn't want to do anything else. And I'll eat the whole thing too. As a matter of fact, this is 430 calories. So if you guys want to see me pig out and maybe see me go a little crazy with this, then got a $20 super chat challenge for you. Eric's Friday Channel. On the back to work to I'm back to work to pick up my truck and go home for the day. That's too many words. Well, I hope you feel better. He told me what it was, and it's nothing serious, so don't everybody freak out. He's going to be fine. Just one of those seasonal things that we all have to deal with sometimes. Just going to move this over here a little bit. Sam Hodge, an update on the Optiplex 3020s. Out of the 9, only 2 have the first BIOS revision. Notice some very cheap motherboards on eBay around £10 for the 3020s. Perhaps something to consider. Very, very good point. That's even cheaper than the BIOS chip. So if you could get it for that cheap, maybe with free shipping or very cheap shipping, it would be worth it in the long run to replace the motherboard than just to replace the BIOS. Because I was doing some research, and the Dell Optiplex 3020s, if you just to buy the actual updated BIOS chip is going to cost you around $25 or $30. So that equates to what, maybe, I don't know, 15, 20 pounds. So yeah, I would go for just replacing the motherboard. Tyler, hey Matt, hope everything is good with you. Wind is gusting to 55 right now, and the power is out again. I'm sick on top of it. Oh, I'm telling you, Tyler. Yeah, the last week we had the same kind of storms that you're having now. Matter of fact, the ones you guys get usually head our way. We had gusts upwards of 60 miles per hour here, but we didn't lose power. We were very blessed that way. Can I get a monochromatic burrito to go? Marcus Kim, always be my baby. I wouldn't eat that stuff. I know people that do. No, I'm not that desperate. Not yet, anyway. We're still waiting for the roller coaster ride. Yeah, I really feel bad about that. What was it, like 2 years ago? I promised you guys I was going to do a roller coaster ride, but I did something else. I can't remember what it was, but I did make it up for not being able to do that, because I still cannot go on roller coasters because of my inner ear. I have a chronic inner ear infection. If I was to go on a roller coaster, it would be very dangerous for me. I could lose my hearing, and I could get so dizzy that I could pass out. So I should have wrote this down. I know I did something for you guys in lieu of that, but I can't remember what it was at this point. Victor Del Fuente, hey Matt, just came back from a long day at the gym. How you been today? I've been doing great. Eating too much. Valentine's Day is always bad because we always get junk food in the house, and I know I'm going to be nibbling, so I am going to be fasting. I stopped eating today around 1, and I'm not going to eat again until tomorrow. So wish me luck, please. I need your prayers because I've been really getting a sweet tooth lately. And if we get to $20 in super chats, I am going to be eating this live at the end of this live stream. So I don't know. I kind of hope you guys don't do it because I really don't want to destroy my my diet here. Paul, we're a pair. Paul said, I think you did too. I just can't remember. I have always had a bad short-term memory. That has a lot to do with, I think, with my Asperger's syndrome. But ever since I hit 30, it's gotten way worse, way, way worse. You guys have to remind me of stuff sometimes. Charlie Pinsky, I'm getting overwhelmed lately because I have so many desktops and laptops and trying to install Windows and such. I don't know what programs and where I should sell them. Okay, this I can help you out with. The easiest way to do multiple installs on many desktops is to basically get a bunch of flash drives. Now you only need to have I think it's 16 gigs now for a Windows install, 8 or 16, but I usually buy 16 gigabyte flash drives. I download the Windows Media Creation tool, and I basically just make a whole bunch of flash drives with the latest version of Windows. And that's the nice thing about using the Media Creation tool, the Windows Media Creation tool, because it'll let you use the latest it'll give you the latest version of Windows 10. And not only that, it'll automatically install whatever version that computer uses. So let's say if it's a Windows 8 computer and the product key is built into the BIOS, and let's say it's Windows 10 Home, it'll automatically install Windows 10 Home. If Windows 10 Pro, then it'll automatically install Windows 10 Pro, and so on. I'm going to show this to you guys a little bit later on, probably in a vlog, but I picked up a table from Aldi. And Charlie, maybe you can take a page out of my book. This was like $40. I'm hoping I can kind of finagle the camera over there so you guys can see it, but let's see. And that's about as far as I could do. But if you see that table right there, that's it's an 6-foot center folding table, and I currently have 7 desktops on there with a bunch of monitors, and I'm doing Windows install. So that's the easiest way to do it. And then as for selling them, I like to use the Facebook Marketplace is number one. I've been making most of my sales through that. Craigslist, not so much anymore, but you can also try things like OfferUp, Let Go, Mercari. There's a whole bunch of different ones, but I will tell you, Facebook Marketplace is king right now. I'm doing great through the Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, Charlie. And that's why I was mentioning that table from Aldi, because they're having them this week. That's part of their limited buys. So if you have the money and you have a chance, I would recommend going and picking it up because it's really worth it. It's a really sturdy table, and for $40, you really aren't going to get much better than that. Am I clipping? Somebody let me know if my audio's clipping, because I noticed in the last couple of live streams that my my audio was kind of clipping. Am I good, or is the sound good? Not clipping at the high end. Yeah, most people have given up on Craigslist. It's kind of passe now. Audio's fine, thank you. That's right, Kijiji in Canada. Total scam city right now. Yeah, I get a lot of those from Craigslist. Every time I list something on Craigslist, and I still do list items on Craigslist, inevitably within the first 10 or 15 minutes, I get one of those scam calls that wants me to confirm that I am a real person and enter the code when they call this number and enter the code, which will activate Google Voice so they can take over my phone. Don't do it. It's a total scam. Classic Mobile Home is here. He's in the house. No one responded to Facebook Marketplace due to clutter. Okay, you have to. If hopefully there are some in your area, but you have to join the Facebook groups. There are marketplace groups. Like in my area, we have the Hampton Roads so and so on groups. There's like 10 or 15 of them that I join. If you don't have those, it's very hard to sell on Facebook because you kind of get lost in the crowd, and your reputation is very important. So if you do sell a lot through one of these sources, you need to make sure that you stand behind your products. I give a business card with every computer I sell, and I make sure they have my number. That way, if they have any problems, they can call me and I can do tech support for them. And I always say, if I think that when they're here buying the computer, if I notice that I think they may have someone else that might be interested, I'll say, look, can you hand out some business cards at your work? Let them know what I do, and see if maybe somebody is interested in buying a computer as well. Harold's asking about the sound check. No, I can hear myself, but believe it or not, the sound level that I hear through my headphones and the sound level that you guys hear on the live stream is slightly different, and usually it's slightly higher on your end. That's why I was asking if my audio was clipping. Oh yeah, I love that one. Scott Keeley goes, best one. Oh yeah, you're selling a PC for $200. I'll give you $350 if you send it to me. Now, right off the bat, that's a scam. Nobody is going to increase the price $150 and and say it's just for shipping. I mean, it's not going to happen. That's an instant scam. Chris Garrett, hey Matt, I'm traveling, stopped on the side of the road to say hi. Also, I cannot find any SanDisk USB 3.0, only 2.0 at Walmart. SanDisk is all I use. You have to look online. I wouldn't limit yourself to SanDisk, though. Kingston flash drives, if that's what you're talking about, they make excellent flash media. Matter of fact, that's generally what I use when I do my Windows installs. Yeah, go ahead, Charlie. Go ahead and send that to me. I'll look at it. I'll look at it a little bit later on after the stream. Okay. So we're 15 minutes in. We got 23 people here. So I think it's about time that I come clean about what this entire live stream was supposed to be about. Though, you know, that's great. If you guys want to talk tech, I'm fine with that. I have a chance to go back up and work the same job that I did back in November and December. This is at the new 5 and 10 variety store. It'll be at the one in Green or in the one in Afton, probably going to be a little bit of both. The proprietors have had a very hard time basically replacing me. They've been through a lot of employees, hired them, fired them. It's very hard to find reliable employees. Now, I'm on the fence about this because, one, it's a big step. I'll have to stay with my uncle, at least for the time being, until I get established up there and, you know, I start making money enough to where I could afford my own place. Or if I decide to, I could just stay with my uncle, you know, help him pay rent or pay the bills. We haven't really decided that yet. Number two, I haven't really discussed salary yet. Now, I was making basically minimum wage, and that was kind of like a trial period. Now, I can't do that. If that's all they're offering, I can't do it because it's just not enough money to live on. Now, the other side of that is if I can negotiate a slightly higher salary and then also bring my computer business up there, you know, repairs, the combination of the two, I can eke out a nice living. But I need to have a little bit more money coming in than just minimum wage, and that it's just not enough to live on. Honestly, I just kind of wanted you guys and gals out there for a sounding board. I really wanted your opinions. I wanted you to kind of, you know, let me know what you think you would do in this situation. You know, my options are limited right now. You know, with my disabilities, I don't have a lot of work opportunities. So basically, this is a job I know I can handle, and I've come clean to them about my limitations, and they're okay with it. So for me, going up there and working this job should work out just fine. I can do that, and I can stay with my uncle for a while. I can, you know, try to work the computer business up there, although it's not going to be as lucrative as it is down here. It's just a more depressed area. There aren't as many people up there that have money to buy, you know, high-end computers. The other side of it is I decide to stay here, you know, live at home and basically do what I have been doing. Now, I am really leaning towards going up there and working that job. And the main reason is I want to spread my wings. When I was up there for that month and a half, I'll be honest with you, I really enjoyed myself. I loved being with my uncle. He's really cool. He and I get along great. You know, we had some good conversations. He and I love cooking. He and I would switch off. One night he'd cook for dinner. One night I'd cook. And I just really enjoyed it. And the thing is, I just don't know if I want to leave my parents right now because, you know, my dad's having some health issues and, you know, it's hard on my mom. So I don't know. I really don't know what to do. I'm torn between the two things at the moment. Charlie Lipinski, why don't you try finding a job at a local computer repair shop? The problem is a lot of these shops are not willing to hire somebody like me with disabilities. I know I come across very, very good here. You know, I sound like I know what I know what I'm talking about, but my Asperger's causes me a lot of anxiety. I've tried working regular, like 9 to 5 jobs in the past, and they've never really worked out for me. However, again, up there, they know my limitations and they're willing to work with me. So I don't know if it's going to be realistic for me to find a job down here that I'll be able to keep. I've been down this road so many times. I mean, I can't even tell you. I've had a handful of different jobs down here that just didn't work out. And it wasn't them, it was me. I just couldn't handle the situations. When the going got tough, I broke down. And that's just the way I am. And that's part of this up here. And I know a lot of you out there are going to say, oh, tough it out, Matt. You be a man. You know what? You got to grow up. Well, you know what? It's not that easy. When you have a mental disability, such as Asperger's, anxiety, there is no toughing it out. There are just times that you can't handle certain situations. And I know some of you out there know what I'm talking about. It's a good point, Paul. He goes, being up there for a month and a half is a lot different being up there for good. Now, and I'm not saying it's going to be for good. You know, it might be for 6 months, it might be for a year. I don't know. See, that's the beauty part of it. I always have the opportunity to come back down here, but my uncle really enjoyed having me up there. I was able to help him out. You know, I did all the chores around the house. Basically, I cleaned the house. I did a lot of the cooking. So there's a lot of positives and there's a lot of negatives for both. And that's why I'm just trying to get a consensus among my YouTube fans. What do you think I should do? And don't forget, you guys can help me out maybe with some gas money in the form of super chats. You guys are going to see me eat this thing before the live stream's over. Awesome computers. Salary goes on locations. What's good for some may be poor for others. It's a very good point. Salaries up there generally are lower because, once again, it's a more depressed area. There isn't as much opportunity, and the opportunities there are up there are limited. So, and of course, it all goes with the housing costs. Also, a lot cheaper to live up there. So, it's cheaper to live up there. The salary is going to be much lower. It kind of goes in tandem. Jeff goes, minimum wage shouldn't even be considered. No one can live on that alone or live comfortably. Even slightly over minimum wage would be a major struggle. I agree. Oh, I know. I see Aunt Lisa's here right now, boy. And she goes, spread your wings and get up, get your butt up here. You will always wonder if it was the right idea if you don't try it. I agree. I mean, that's where I'm leaning towards right now. And I think if I can negotiate a better salary, that's probably what I am going to do. Send a boat across and pick me up. I can't afford a plane. Maybe I wouldn't do it this time of year. I'd wait till spring. Man. All right, Tyler, stay safe out there. I hope you feel better, and hopefully the weather breaks and you get some good sunny days. Awesome computers. I'm focusing on becoming an engineer, and I'm just curious about potential salaries in the future. Well, I'll tell you this. If you become an engineer, then you're going to be making bank. Engineers make a lot of money, and that's because they have to get the education, basically. Charlotte Pinsky, I used to make $10 to $15 an hour as a computer tech and repairman. It's not too bad, but again, it goes by the area. I know which area you live in. I'm not going to say it, but it just depends on, you know, where you live and what they're willing to pay. Mark Covington, if you were to go to New York, what will you do if you say need to go to see a doctor, go to the hospital? Very interesting question. I'm not sure. I mean, they have walk-in clinics up there, And I do have medical. I'll probably have to switch over though if I'm up there for any length of time. Scott Curley, and I know I'm going to like this. He goes, I don't charge hourly for repairs. Go by what it is. Install Windows and restore documents is between $30 and $40. Depends on the speed of the blank, 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 blank computer. Yeah, that's actually pretty cheap. I don't know. I usually charge between $40 to $60 for a Windows install. But there might be more to it than that. I might be installing Office, and usually I'll have to do some kind of data backup. So let me just give you an idea. If it's a data backup, a Windows install, and then a data transfer, in other words, backing up their data, reinstalling Windows, then transferring the data either to that same computer or to another one, just for that process, I usually charge between $80 to $100. And that's because Best Buy charges about $200 for that. So I try to I'm not going to use that word, but undercut Best Buy by about 50%. Paul King goes, you already did try it for a month and a half. If it was a good fit, then do it. If you are only going to make minimum wage like you did before, then it should be considered a non-starter. Yeah, absolutely. And I agree. Believe me, mom and dad have been saying the same thing. They're like, you can do it, but you can't do it for minimum wage. And I agree. It's not going to work. There's not enough meat on the bone there. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to be getting a lot of hours because they don't have a lot of employees right now. So they're going to need me. Like, it might even be 50, 60 hours a week. And I'm okay with that. I can handle that. But like you said, I need to be making more than minimum wage for it to be realistic. Yeah, Classic Mobile Home. Seems like you're the only one that wants me to stay at home. That's interesting, though. Including backup is $50. That's like $35 US. Okay. I mean, prices for repairs fluctuate so much. For me, that would be a little too cheap, just because of the amount of work that's involved in that. But if that's all that it's worth in your area, then yeah, sometimes I guess you have to do it. Charlie goes, both places I worked, Windows install is usually $100 to $150. That's my experience. And you got to remember, that's not including the backup. So if you had a backup in, it's more like $250. And again, I usually do it for around, if I do a full backup and I have to remove viruses and do a Windows install, it's $100. That's what I charge, because that is a lot of work. And that's a lot for your money, especially when you consider it probably takes 10, maybe, I don't want to say that. Say 7 or 8 hours to do it all together. Now, that's not 7 or 8 hours in front of the computer, but that's 7 or 8 hours that my data backup system is tied up with work and I can't use it for other tasks. I like what Scott said. He goes, minimum wage is okay if you have nothing to pay for, but if you have cars and other bills and expensive habit like computers, yeah, and we all know I do, right? Heck, I just bought this today. I was in Best Buy buying SSDs to refurbish those computers, and I couldn't resist picking up a new display for this one. Got what is this? An HP 24F display. This was a $180 monitor on sale at Best Buy for $110. Was really good. I actually saw it working. It's not 4K. It's 1080p. But that's all I really need. I don't rock 4K or curved displays because I'm not a gamer. It's kind of pointless for me. But this will be going on this computer over here. So, yeah, I kind of do have an expensive habit. I would agree with you if it was a computer, but I have to say HP still makes good monitors, just like Acer. I don't like Acer towers back in the day. I don't like Acer laptops, tablets, but I do like their monitors. I love Acer monitors. Charlie Pinsky, my time it usually takes for virus removal and data transfer usually takes a half hour at most. Man, I don't know. I don't know what you're doing, but I guess it depends on the amount of data. Most of the clients that I support, if it's doing a data backup and a transfer, sometimes it's 50 plus gigabytes of data. And I don't, even if you're running over USB 3, to scan that for viruses properly and then to back it up and transfer it to a new computer, it's going to take you at least 2 hours. I don't care what you're doing. But you know what? Maybe your clients have smaller amounts of data than mine. I support a lot of business clients, and yeah, they have some massive quantities of data. Awesome. 20 watchers and 13 likes. I better check the super chats because I don't know if I'm going to be eating. No super chats. So, I guess I'm not going to be eating this tonight. I don't really want to anyway, to be honest with you. So I guess that's a good thing. Excuse me. Okay, so you're doing a direct SATA transfer from a desktop to a desktop. I usually use a drive toaster just because it's easier. Now, in all truthfulness, the way you're doing it is faster than the way I do it through the drive toaster, but it's not as secure. So there's trade-off between the two. And if you guys don't know what a drive toaster is, it's this thing right here. I don't want to lose the cable, but this particular one is a Unitech. And basically what you do is you take either a desktop or a laptop SATA hard drive, which I just happen to have one right here, everybody's favorite brand, Seagate, and you stick it right in here like this. And that's it. And they call it a toaster because it literally looks like you're putting a piece of toast in a toaster, and that allows you to transfer the data back and forth. But once again, the way you're doing it is okay. I just prefer doing it this way because it is a little bit more secure. It adds one level of software security to the transfer. That way you have a little less chance of getting viruses. And I'm not going to be able to plug this in. Got it. I don't have a lot of light under there. Yes, thank you, Scott. All in caps. I love it. Like and subscribe, and let's get the like counter up to the amount of watchers. I really appreciate that because even more than super chats, the watchers and the likes help out because that actually boosts the video on YouTube's algorithm scale. Drive toasters, you can get them about $25, $30 on eBay. There are a lot of different brands, though. I had an Initech one before this. Again, this one's a Unitech. This one actually came from my buddy Jeff. Jeff, if you're watching this, that's the one you gifted me, probably about a year ago, and I'm still using it. Still using it. Paul King goes, don't walk away from established clients. It took time to build them up, and repeat business can sometimes be easier to cultivate than new clients. That's true. And I'm not going to necessarily be walking away. You have to remember, it is about a 500-mile drive back and forth, but I will have to come back in town every once in a while, at least probably every couple of months for various reasons. If nothing, just come back and see Baxter and Milo. So I should be able to get my appointments done between those visits. But you can't live for everybody else. And nobody said it better than the Winans when they said, you got to remember to save yourself, because you can worry about everybody else. You can worry, and that's not what you're supposed to do. You can pray for people. You can help people out when the Spirit, motivates you. but you're not supposed to worry about people. You need to make sure that you help yourself. I know that kind of does sound selfish, but it is true, because if you're not helping yourself, there are people out there that spend so much time worrying about others, they forget to take care of themselves. And that's not good either. If you don't take care of yourself, you're really not helping anybody. Awesome Computers. Hey, Matt, when you worked at Best Buy, was there a recycling bin there? If there was, were you that strict on people who could look inside for stuff? No, that was way after I left. As a matter of fact, when I worked there and people brought in their old computers and we were supposed to recycle them, all we did was put them in the trash compactor. That's all we ever did. It drove me crazy. But now they're a lot better. I don't know about looking for stuff. I can imagine they'd be pretty strict, because you have to remember most of the equipment that they throw away, especially the computers, still have their hard drives in them. And if you were an unscrupulous person that went in there and got that computer, stole somebody's data, and used it against them, then guess who's going to be held liable for that? Best Buy. I would just be careful. I wouldn't do that. I would look for other sources. Eric went to, I think, Brunhammer, you went to a scrap metal yard and you found some stuff. I would go that route first, honestly. Oh, okay. You're talking about that little bin that's in the front in the foyer, where they have where you can recycle phones and batteries and things. That wasn't there either when I worked at Best Buy. Oh my gosh, it's always full now. I see routers sitting on top. The other day I went and I saw an uninterruptible power source, a UPC or UPS up there. Wavelink USB 3.0 to SATA dual bay external hard drive docking station. That's one I got off Amazon. Yes, the dual bay ones are really good, because then you can clone drives. Now, I generally don't clone drives because I'm working with SSDs, and SSDs, cloning a conventional hard drive to an SSD, in my experience, is nearly impossible. It never works properly. I think out of the probably dozen I've tried, I may have had one successfully clone. It's just something to do with the architecture. It just doesn't work right. So generally now, if I need to migrate clients' data from an old computer to a new computer, I just do a fresh install, data backup, and then manually transfer it. Wow. Found a Galaxy 8 S8 Plus. That's insane. I would expect to see a lot of Samsung Galaxy J7s and stuff like that in those bins. I would not expect to see a flagship cell phone, especially one that's still fairly modern like that. Oh. Not UPSs or routers, my weakness. I like UPSs. I actually believe it or not, I don't even own one. I've had them in the past, and the batteries degrade, and I got tired of replacing them. And where we live, the power infrastructure here is so reliable that even in the worst of storms, we don't even get surges. So I just don't even bother with it. Maybe I'd say we're lucky if we lose power maybe once every 5 years or so. Just don't even bother with it. Oh, that's my. I'm hearing this thing in the background going. Blah, 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 blah. I think it was just the. I forgot that's my alert on my cell phone. Believe it or not, my Samsung tablet over there, the one I got at the thrift store a few weeks ago, its notification alert is the Fox News sound like we hear. I think similar to what Rush Limbaugh uses. Paul Kane, any good audio thrift store finds lately? Yes. It's a good thing you said that. I'm glad you mentioned that, because I actually picked this up yesterday at the thrift store, and I've been listening to it quite a bit. Smokey Robinson, Love Songs. How many of you are old enough to remember Smokey Robinson? Really, really good love ballads on here. Cruisin', One Heartbeat, Baby Baby Don't Cry, Choosy Beggar. I'm not familiar with that one. Swept for Your Baby, More Love, Quiet Storm. One Heartbeat is one of my all-time favorite songs, and I wish I could play it on here. Really saddens me that YouTube doesn't allow that. But that's it. Nothing else really good at the thrift stores. Awesome computers. I kind of want to go to the Best Buy and look in the bin, but my mom told me I could get arrested for it. I think theoretically you could, and I'd be the one that would get arrested because I'm just that kind of person. Every time as a kid, even if I thought of doing something wrong, I'd get caught. I was just that because I'm an honest person. I don't like being even hovering on the gray area. The truth bothers me, so I think people know that if I'm doing something wrong, they notice it. Like, you ever hear about people having that guilty look? Well, I guess I have that, and people always catch me. I don't know. That's right, Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. He'll be 80 now. That I didn't know. Wonder when this was from. So this was from 2009. So he was maybe 70 here. He looked pretty good for 70. I don't think I look that good now. Man, I tell you, some people have good genes. Now, I don't necessarily look my age, but I look better now that I've lost the weight, honestly. 1940. Man, I hope to make it to 80. Here's the thing. I want to live to a good old age if I'm healthy, if I can walk, if my joints don't hurt, if I don't have like chronic fatigue. If I have to live with that, then you know what? I'd rather be with Jesus, to be honest with you. I don't. You don't look that good now. Oh, you're close to my age. I'll be 37 in May. Oh man, I tell you, I'm having my days. I'm starting to get those little tiny wrinkles on the forehead. Nothing too bad though. I'm actually okay. Here's something that I think you guys will find really interesting. When you get to my age, is when you start kind of getting some wrinkles. I started taking collagen supplement. Now, collagen is found in the woman's supplement section. It's generally used for women after their pregnancy to help tighten the skin up around the abdomen and remove the stretch marks. Well, I started taking it because I started thinking, I have a lot of loose skin from my weight loss, and I'm like, maybe this will work for me. So I've been taking it now for about a month, and do you know what? I'm noticing my skin firming up, especially around my abdomen. And I don't know if I get enough courage to do it, and if I get enough, maybe we'll do something where I'll take my shirt off and show you guys my center region, my torso one day. But I'm still a little self-conscious about it, so we'll see what happens. But make a long story short, if you are like me and you've lost a lot of weight recently and you have that kind of skin, that little flab in the middle that's more skin than fat, collagen. And I take 3 pills a day. I get it from BJ's. I think it's Berkeley and Jensen brand. Works really good. Paul King goes, I'd rather be with Jesus anyway, but I have things to manage down here for the time being. Well said, my friend. Definitely well said. Larchmont Breeze. Looking good, Matt. Love the steps in your room. Lovely layout. Okay, is just a wave and run little bro. What? Okay, this is just a wave and run little brother. See you soon. I'll catch the playback. It's late in London. Night. Awesome. Thank you so much for coming. Hey, you know what? It always helps. I'm glad to see you like that. It's funny about those stairs. They are really hard to vacuum. I only use upright vacuum, so I got to hold it up and kind of go back and forth on the steps, and it makes it challenging. You look like you're in your late 20s. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I try. I've always put lotion on my face. I try to use moisturizers, things like that. But no, I'm going to be 37 in May. Ugh, that's scary. That really is, honestly. You know, no beefcake. Ooh, okay. You ever see me? I always like wearing glasses. Honestly, I have a good face, but I've worn glasses ever since I was like a little kid, and I just like the way they look on me. I might think about getting contacts someday. All right, what are we at? 45 minutes here. I think we're going to end this in just a minute or two. I really don't have anything else to talk about right now. I just kind of want to get your guys' input on this, and I'm leaning towards going. I'll let you guys know probably in the next week or two is when I'm going to make my final decision because that's when they're really going to need me by. Um, I guess we got a couple more things here. Any updates on the Denali? My Yukon Denali, my 2005. She's doing okay. It has its quirks, to be honest with you. It has a lot of electrical issues that are intermittent, which kind of makes me think that it might have been a flood vehicle at one point, even though I have a clean title. Part of me thinks that might have been washed. In other words, washed means that it was salvaged and then they made it look like it was a clean title. It runs perfectly fine, but intermittently the temperature and the mileage indicator on the mirror goes in and out. It'll work and doesn't work. The head unit, the Bose head unit, every once in a while, the screen just likes to go into a loop and reset itself. And the only other thing is the cruise control never worked. And that's the only thing that doesn't work at all. Everything in the Denali works. I mean, it can be quirky at times, but it all works. Except the cruise control. I cannot get the cruise control to work. I've replaced the brake pedal light switch. I replaced the relay for it. There's a relay and a fuse. I replaced both of those. They looked fine, but I replaced them anyway. And it still doesn't work. The only other thing I can think is the actual multifunction switch is bad, and I'm not replacing that because that, other than the cruise control, that thing works fine. Yeah, Bose. I'm telling you, I've never been a fan of Bose. I do have to say that it sounds great. I mean, it's got a great sound to it, but it's got its quirks, and it's not a lot. Like I would say, I have issues with the screen on that, mainly when it's cold out, but maybe once or twice a month. Other than that, it works fine, and I do have the satellite radio. No highs, no lows, must be Bose. I know we got a lot of people out there that don't like Bose. I really don't like Bose either that much. I've had issues. I've had wave radios, and they're built well, but I still don't think they sound as good. I mean, heck, this MCS series component system from the mid '80s, I think, sounds better than a Bose wave radio, to be honest. Classic Mobile Home did it for free in Windows 10. Hey, free is always the best way to go. All right, everybody, I'm ending it here. I am getting winded. I still have a few things I have to do today. We didn't get any super chats, so I have to save this for another day. And now that I'm here, listen to this. It's all broken apart, but you know what? I'm sure it'll still taste good. All right, tubers. Oh, wait a minute. I thought I saw something from Eric. Nope, nothing from Eric. Eric, please feel better. Take it easy. I'm going to take it easy tonight, too, because I'm having some issues with sinuses as well. Please continue to like and subscribe. And as always, have a blessed day, everybody.